Duke Nukem's Bigshot Pinball is a DLC table for the free pinball video game Pinball M, and it is 100% worth the $3.50 I paid on sale, and it's currently my second favorite table developed by Zen Studios, behind only the Plants vs. Zombies table for Pinball FX2. Where to begin my review? I guess by saying that I love Duke Nukem, and I love pinball, even though I'm not very good at it. But when you take a great IP like Duke Nukem and make a pinball table based off his series with Zen Studios behind the wheel, more than likely you're going to get a good product. At the time of my writing, I've played this table on both Xbox and PC and put about 7-ish hours total on this table, and I've had a blast with it. And like a lot of pinball tables, it takes time to learn all the ins and outs of that specific table and to remember where everything is, learning how to trigger events, extra points, etc. What exactly do I mean by events? Well, Bigshot Pinball has a couple mini games themed around Duke. Like if you get the ball into this little hole twice, I think, you have your choice of mini games like Alien Bastards, where aliens from Duke Nukem 3D spawn on the table for you to kill by hitting them with the pinball. There was also We're Gonna Fry Your ASS, I don't cuss, but that's an event where Duke is strapped to an electric chair and you try to save him by destroying a wall in the cinema, based off the start of the third level on Duke Nukem 3D, where Duke is captured by pig cops and breaks out of an electric chair. Okay, a bit more about the cinema real quick. I don't recall all the specifics, but if no other event is active, you first hit the ball through the doors to start the cinema event. You then have to hit the ball in there 6 more times, I think, 1 for each letter in the word cinema to activate it. Once you've pulled this off, you're brought into a first-person shooter minigame where you kill 8 troopers, and then Duke watches the show and says,
"Time to play with myself."
and you earn over 600,000 points for completing this, in addition to earning points for each time you hit the ball into the cinema. There is another first-person shooter minigame activated by hitting the ball in the aforementioned hole right here. I think it was called Pig Cops, and with an Xbox controller, you use the triggers to turn and press the A button to fire for both FPS minigames.
You're gonna die for that.
And there are many other cool little features and mini-games, and a very satisfying skill shot at the front of the table for when you launch a ball. And going off memory, I think you get 600,000 points for one skill shot, 900,000 for a second, and 1,200,000 for a third. But that's off memory, so don't quote the exact numbers. But you earn the skill shot for closing this little bridge at the top right as the ball reaches it, with almost no room for error, and again, it's very satisfying to pull off. And like most Zen Studios pinball tables, there was a ton of attention to detail, with various songs from Duke Nukem 3D, and things like how you use the Devastator weapon to launch the ball, various one-liners from Duke, sound effects from Duke Nukem 3D. The devs definitely went all in when creating this awesome table. And for those unfamiliar with Pinball M, there's an XP system, with customizable features unlocked every X levels, with things like being able to change the pinball's appearance or changing the flippers, and you purchase new items with coins awarded for every level up, and Duke's table offered a lot of cool stuff. And also, with being able to customize your table, you have your very own play corner and banner, which you can customize, and you unlock items by either completing campaign missions, more on that shortly, or by purchasing items like new pinball table skins or lights. Alright, campaign missions. For Duke Nukem's Bigshot Pinball, there are 7 missions linked to various challenges, and you unlock new play corner items for completing said challenges, like getting a new Duke statue or weapons that you can proudly display on your wall.
Your sanctuary grows.
There are also table masteries, with challenges like score X amount of points on this table, and completing mastery challenges earns you badges, which you can display on your profile banner. Always nice to unlock one of these and show off your skills to the world of Pinball M. And a bit more about Pinball M. It offers a ton of different game modes, from classic pinball games to things like the distance challenge, where the ball can only travel so far and you have to get as many points as possible in that distance, or the flip challenge, where you have to achieve the highest score possible with a capped amount of flips, and losing a ball counts as a flip, although thankfully most challenges offer unlimited balls and every challenge has their own leaderboards. And I should probably also mention that some modes allow powers, like being able to slow the ball down or extending the ball save time. Very helpful features, I must say. So yeah, Duke Nukem's Bigshot Pinball for Pinball M. Better than the pinball minigame in Duke Nukem Forever, I must say. And while I'm definitely not a pro, I've really enjoyed this pinball table, and must say, it was well worth my money. And it even has table-specific achievements for anybody wondering. I give this table a 9.9 out of 10 by my grade scale. If you like Duke Nukem and you like pinball, I highly suggest you give this a spin, and if you're reluctant to invest any cash into it, the base game, Pinball M, is free, and all paid tables have free demos.
Wait.
And a couple side notes for my review. 1. Duke's armchair looks super comfy. 2. This is the only non-horror themed pinball table on Pinball M. And 3. This was actually my first encounter with the Duke Nukem IP. I remember playing Pinball M on Xbox One and seeing the Duke Nukem table release, and I had heard of Duke, so I thought to give it a spin, and would proceed to play several of his games, including 3D World Tour, Forever, the OG side-scrolling Running Guns, and Manhatten Project. A couple similar pinball games / tables you might enjoy if you like this one would be the Plants vs. Zombies table for Pinball FX2, or the GBA exclusive Pinball of the Dead, a House of the Dead spinoff and my favorite Game Boy Advance game. My reviews to both of those will be in the end cards. And I guess that's all from me for today, folks. I hope someone enjoyed my review. A great table based off of a great series. For any newcomers to my channel, I mostly play, review, and discuss zombie and horror games, with sometimes other topics like today. And today's video was largely made after the massive success of my Duke Nukem Forever review, which I did not too long ago, which for me did really well, and is currently my most successful review. Thanks to everyone who helped make that happen. Anyways, hope everyone has a great day. Always remember that Jesus loves you all very much. Thanks again for watching. Take it easy. Peace.
I ain't afraid of no quake. This really pisses me off.